That gets enough of that. What do you think? So I've got chat up here, but there's a significant delay. So you're going to want to save any questions that you've got until the end of... no, actually, go ahead and ask your questions immediately, but I'm not going to answer them until I'm done with my little presentation here. So as you think of questions, feel free to drop them into chat, and I will address them at the end, okay? Okay. So you've all gotten the email by now, I'm sure, but if you haven't, we're going to talk a little bit about grading and the decisions made in as a school and as a district, and what that means for our class and for you specifically. And once again, any questions that you have, feel free to drop them into chat just as soon as you think of them. But there is a very, very large delay in the chat, so I won't address them until the very end. Okay. So obviously the first thing that's on everyone's mind right now is grades, right? Everyone wants to know, what's our grade going to look like? And in that regard, I have nothing but good news. As of March 13th, which is when we left, your grade was frozen is the wrong term, because it doesn't mean your grade's going to stay there. That grade becomes the floor, okay? So that means that whatever your grade was on March 13th, your grade can only rise as a result of this crisis. So in other words, the lowest grade you can get is the grade you had. Now don't click out of the video yet. Don't just dip out right away. Let's talk a little bit first. There isn't going to be any pressure anymore. I'm not going to hit that graded button that makes things into zeros. I'm not going to hit that at all. I will instead leave it as blank or NA for any assignment that you don't do. In other words, there is no penalty for missing assignments for the rest of this school year. So what's this mean for you? Well, I'm going to address several different groups of people sort of individually. So we're gonna do that sort of one at a time. And I want to start with you seniors. Now, this is where I would turn to camera 2 if I had a camera 2, but I don't. So I'm just gonna... Hey seniors, how's it going? I bet this takes a lot of stress off of you, because it's true that if you are absolutely okay with your grade in my class or any of your classes, and you know for a fact that you're not going to need that class in the future, well, you just got yourself an extended school year without any negative impact on your graduation or your GPA. That said, I do want to make it clear that the stuff that we're learning right now, especially this trigonometry stuff, it is very, very applicable in a lot of ways, especially those of you planning on going into construction or architecture or anything like that. This stuff will help. And any of you who is college bound, if you are planning on going to college at all, you should absolutely stay, even if you're a senior, because let's face it, you're going to have more math when you're in college, and your teacher isn't going to be me. So if you like my teaching style and if what I do works for you, you should stick with me. But again, your grade can only go up. Same goes for those of you who aren't seniors but have really high grades. I want you all to be very careful. Those of you who have A's and B's, even those of you who are happy with having a C, which is totally fine, I want you to be careful, because yes, if you had an A on the 13th, you could cut the rest of the class and you will get an A for this semester. Absolutely. But you're going to take IM3 next semester. And again, just like I said to those college-bound students, I would recommend taking advantage of my teaching for as long as you can. But it's up to you. You are all young adults. I am not going to make this decision for you. Now, those of you who want a better grade, those of you who have an F or a D or a C, or even you B students who really want an A, this is a huge, huge piece of good news for you. Because not only can each assignment that you complete only help your grade, but this also means that that you can pick and choose which assignments you want to be able to do. You should do all of them. That will get your grade all the way up. But when it comes to grades, you'll have a choice. You don't have to do every single assignment anymore. You don't have to feel like a failure if you're not getting a particular assignment. That said, if you are feeling like you're having a hard time with an assignment, please email me, talk to me. That's what I'm here for. I have been doing one-on-one Zoom meetings with students, and they have been going great, okay? What this means for me is actually kind of huge. I've been wanting for a very long time to teach a class with no grades. I mean, I've told you this before, right? I've said to you that if it were up to me, I would not give grades at all. And now I kind of have that chance, sort of-ish, a little bit. Even those of you who have low Fs have the ability to come back and get a passing grade, I promise. And again, with all this non-classroom time, I've got lots of time for one-on-one or small group interaction. Oh yes, and by the way, if you do decide that you are going to just cut out of the class for the rest of the semester and you're not going to do any more assignments, please tell me, let me know, email me, and I have notation next to them, which students are doing well, which students do I think need support, which students are emailing me, which students aren't emailing me. And if you send me an email saying I'm out for the semester, I won't question you, I won't judge you, that's not my job, right? That's another thing I've been saying consistently. My job is to support, not to judge. And if you are certain you're going to be out, I'll just take you off of my email lists. You'll still get all the general announcements, but I won't pester you about your Khan Academy. Like, it would be silly for me to email someone who's just not going to do it. So please let me know. So that's the next question, right? Why should I do my work? And I know I see there are some folks asking questions in the comments or in the chat. I promise I will get to those by the end of the video. I promise. Okay, why should I do any work? This is you asking this to me, obviously. I'm going to do work regardless. And I'm going to level with you here. We've been talking a lot about grades, but I hate grades. I honest to God think that grades actively hinder learning and actively hinder teaching. The only reason I give grades at all is because A, I have to, and B, I don't have a better system. This is a chance for us to at least explore what it's like to have a class without high-pressure exams. All your exams are going to be on Khan Academy, basically, which means you can do them again and again and again until you get 100%. So there's no pressure anymore. There's no more sitting down in front of your desk on a blank sheet of paper going, oh my God, I can't pass this exam. That won't happen this year. It just won't. Which I think will make your mind a lot more receptive to the information. I think that you have a chance here to really learn this math very deeply because you're learning it in a situation where you don't have to be scared anymore. If you're already satisfied with your grade, you can move forward absolutely confidently. So that's my spiel there. I definitely am sad for every single person who decides they're going to drop, but I understand. I know you've got other classes to do. I know that you have that some of you have home situations that aren't the best. I know some of you just don't have the time. Again, support, not judging. Curriculum and pacing. Okay, so that's grades. And again, I will get to your questions, I promise. Curriculum and pacing. So this is how the rest of this year is going to work, okay? First off, I will continue to assign Khan Academy. I'm probably going to give maybe 3 to 5 topics a week. Maybe a little bit more if they're easy, maybe a little bit less if they're really hard. But it's probably going to come down to approximately 1 Khan Academy for every 1 or 2 days. I will give you all of your weekly assignments on Monday. And by the way, all your other teachers should be too, so that you're not checking in every day. You will know on Monday what your work is for the entire week, okay? I will continue to post new videos, maybe not every day, But when they drop, they will drop at 10 a.m. I will pre-schedule them to drop at 10. I think one of my big weaknesses here has been not consistently putting out videos at the same time. I want you to know when to expect the videos so that if you want to watch it right away, you can. So new videos will drop at 10 a.m., not necessarily every day. But another thing, some feedback that I got from some students is you don't want 25, 35-minute videos. You would rather have 8 to 12-minute videos and maybe split it up into 2 or 3 videos instead of 1. That's another thing I'm going to do for you. Office hours are still Monday through Friday at 4. That's this right here, although it's going to be on Zoom. I will send out an invitation on Google Classroom for every single one. I will also send out email invitations to one class at a time because I want to make sure folks are coming in and getting their questions answered. So I will be making sure to kind of pester those of you who aren't showing up. Unless, of course, you're doing great on your Khan Academy, then I won't pester you at all. My time is your time. From about 9 o'clock in the morning until about 5 p.m., I am on the clock. I am here to answer your questions. I am here to do stuff with you. I'm here to help you out. If you need to get into a Zoom conversation with me to figure something out, you absolutely can. And you'll notice I've posted at least one video on Google Classroom where if you come in and do a one-on-one Zoom meeting, I will ask you if you're okay with me sharing that video so that everybody else can benefit from it as well. You don't have to say yes. So far, Lucy's the only one who has. But again, I just want to give you as many resources as possible. Okay. So here's the bad news. And I've known about this for a while, and I was waiting for the right time, and then coronavirus happened. The bad news is that I found out a little bit before spring break that I will not be returning to Healdsburg High School next year. This isn't what I wanted. This isn't the way I wanted to tell you. I wanted to tell you in person, but of course we don't have any more in person, right? So I'm doing it here. I'm sorry. I really am. I'm not going to talk too much more about it because I really want to focus on having a strong end of the year, and I hope you're all okay with that. I'm going to move on before your response comments start coming in. So, here are some questions that students have already sent me, and when I'm done with these questions, I will take the questions that I am seeing coming up in chat. I appreciate all those Fs that I'm seeing. I know that you mean them and that you're not just being smartasses. Okay, so question: if I don't do an assignment, will it count as a 0? The answer is no, assuming that it's one of the remote learning ones. In your Aries gradebook, you have 2 sections. One section just says grade and it's green. One section is remote learning and it's orange. The remote learning ones are the ones that you will not be marked down for. All of those, if you don't do it, you don't get a 0, you don't get anything. It doesn't count towards or against your grade. Final exam. I've been getting a lot of questions about the final exam. Now, the final exam is obviously not going to be your usual final exam, right? It's not going to be a sit down in a classroom and take a final exam. It might be a Khan Academy thing. I kind of want to do a project for those of you who are still around in June. I want to do something that will be fun, not too terribly difficult, and worth enough points so that those of you who are nearing the edge of what grade you want will be able to get that final push. You know what I mean? So the final exam is going to be something for your benefit. And again, just like everything else, if you don't do it, it's not going to count against you. And I did, right. So it'll be a chance to push to get a better grade at the last minute if you're still not satisfied with your grade come June. And those of you who are really, those of you who really apply yourselves between now and June, I will be very surprised if you don't get an A. I mean, how difficult can it be to ace a class where zeros don't count against you. So again, and I want to make this clear, even those of you who have like 20 or 30% currently for this semester, you still have a chance to come back and pass. It's not over yet. Can I get a copy of my current grades? I'm pretty sure that's something that someone already put in the chat. I knew psychically what you were going to ask. Yes, of course you can. By Monday, I will get you a report, but remember that your grade now, assuming you've been doing work, your grade now is your grade. If your grade now is definitely higher than it was in March if you've done any work at all. If you've done any work at all, your grade is higher now than it was in March. So just go with your current grade, and that's the lowest grade you can get. It can only go up from here. Does that make sense? Whatever your grade is in Aries right now is the lowest it can possibly be. It'll only go up from there. So it doesn't really matter what your grade was in March, because your grade now is higher, and that's the new floor. Every time you get more points, the floor goes up. You're never going to end up going back down, right? You're not going to miss an assignment and lose a bunch of points, because you can only gain points here. Is there anything we students can do? I actually have had students already ask me if there's anything that they could do, if there's any protests they could make, if there's anything that they could say to convince people to keep me on. And I'm afraid the answer is no. It's really touching, those students who have offered, and just looking at the chat right now, I am trying very hard not to cry. You all are amazing, and I really have loved my time with you. But what's done is done, and I need to move forward, and I think you do too. And besides, we're not done yet. We still have 2 months at the minimum. Where are you teaching next year? No clue. I already had one interview at Windsor High School, but I don't think they and I are going to work out. I don't know whether I will be staying in Sonoma County. I don't know whether I will be staying in California. Hell, I don't know if I'm going to be staying in the United States. I don't know. I just don't. But I do promise that as soon as I know, you will know. Does this mean you won't be here to help us? Hell no. Absolutely not. Even after all of this, even during the summer, even next year, all right, I will make sure you all have my contact information. You will know how to get a hold of me, okay? I will help you with your math. I will chat with you if you want, whatever, okay? I am not the kind of teacher who's just going to vanish. To be fair, I haven't had a heck of a lot of folks from Korea last year reaching out to me, but if you want to, yes, we will continue a dialogue. I have no problem with that. Like, I'm not just going to up and vanish. Can you help me prepare for next year? And I think this is the last question. The answer is yes. And after this semester is over, when we hit June, I want you guys to know I am going to continue the class. Okay? Once June hits, and I assume all of you will desert, but that's fine, I am continuing this class with YouTube and with Khan Academy all through the summer. Okay? I will take you all the way through your IM2 curriculum, even the stuff that we didn't cover. I will take you through the start of IM3 curriculum if you want. So those like 3 or 4 of you that might want to actually do some math over the summer, you are absolutely welcome to stay on. I'm going to keep making videos. I'm going to keep doing office hours. This is really good for me. This is a great format for me. So those of you who are really interested in summer tutoring, you've got it. You've 100% got it. Oh, what if I have a question you haven't answered? So you can email me, or you can Zoom me, you can Skype me, you can whatever. So now I'm going to scroll to the top of the questions, and I'm going to answer any questions in chat that I haven't yet answered here. All right, so how do I check my grades for March 13th? I covered that. Do all teachers have to follow this? The answer is yes. this hold harmless grade floor at March 13th thing, this is not only district-wide, this is kind of statewide. Pretty much all schools, public schools in California are doing this same thing. So yes, it's everybody. Let's see. Lots of Fs, man. You guys are just the best. You really are. Eric, please don't riot. I'm looking at you. No rioting. Yeah. And then the rest of it is just expressing pretty much the same feeling that I'm feeling. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty rough, and it's pretty rough on everybody, and I'm sorry it turned out this way. But we're gonna kick butt going forward from here, okay? What my job is now is to turn you into integrated math machines between now and next year, so that next year, when you have a teacher who's definitely not me, you're still gonna be able to kick ass and take names, all right? That is my promise to you. As long as I am here, and at least through the end of summer, I am committed into molding you into math machines, all right? I'm not giving up on you, so I really hope that you don't give up on me. And with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and take off. Please remember to check your email. Please remember to check Google Classroom, because I send my invites to Zoom office hours via email and via Google Classroom, and so far no one's really been showing up. So again, this is kind of your last chance over the next couple of months to get my particular brand of education. So let's make it count, all right? You all take care, stay safe, wash your hands,